If you're new to a drill driver or an impact driver, chances are you've purchased some bits and adapters to go with them, but individually these can be expensive. Of course, you can buy a kit that includes a bunch of drills, but even if you buy the fancy ones with the different type of shanks on them, they can get quite expensive and they still don't give you enough for the right stuff, because perhaps you want to work with fasteners, so you end up with something like this, but it's a little bit small, so you look for something a little different. And this kit has a little bit of everything in it. Something for fasteners, something for mortar. You can drill wood, you have your spades. Problem with this kit, of course, is that when you wear out a bit or break one, then you're just missing one and you'll have to go out and buy one individually. Of course, if you discover that you're using one bit a lot, you could always go with something like this, where you get a number of bits in one case. They're all the same size. So as you go through them, you just keep popping one out of this kit. But what if you're looking just to work mainly with fasteners? Is there something out there that can help you out? Well, thanks to the Home Depot Seeds program, we're looking at the Milwaukee 54-piece impact driver bit set. It's part of their modular storage system. Let's tear it out of the blister pack and take a close-up look. Once the piano hinge case is out of the blister pack, you have a plethora of tools. Let's start with the short 1-inch bits. We have a Phillips 1, a Phillips 1, a Phillips 2, Phillips 2, Phillips 2, Phillips 2, Phillips 2. Why so many Phillips? Well, because as you wear or break them, you have another one to go to, since these are the more popular sizes. Then we have a Phillips Reduced 2, which is designed for drywall and plaster work. Here we're looking at a Phillips number 2 and a Phillips Reduced number 2, and that difference is right here. You see where this part of the tip hits the shoulder, and this one has a much longer shoulder, shorter tip. So when we have these drywall screws and we stick them in, you'll see that there is a bit of a gap right there, whereas with the reduced, it's all the way into that tip right here. So you can apply greater force onto the fastener without it camming out, whereas there's a greater risk of it camming out here because you're not utilizing this part of the bit. So that's the difference between a Phillips and a reduced Phillips. A Phillips Reduced number 2, a Phillips 3, a Phillips 3. Then we move on to the squares, square 1, square 2, 2, 2, 2. We move over to the right-hand side, square 3, square 3. The Torx, we have a 15, a 20, a 20, a 25, a 25, a 25. Coming down to the lower left-hand side, more than 1-inch fasteners, Torx 27, Torx 30. Then we have a straight blade 3/16, another straight blade 1/4. I don't find much use for these because they tend just to slip when I use them. Then hexagon 1/8, 9/64, 5/32, 3/16. Then we move over to the 2-inch driver bits. And this is a Phillips 2, a square 2, a square 2, square 3, Torx 20. Then we have double-headed. This is a square 2 with a Phillips 2 and Torx 20 with a T25 and a T25 with a Phillips 2. My hat's off to Milwaukee. These count as 3 pieces as opposed to 6. Moving on to the 3-inch, we have a Phillips 2. Now the problem with this row is it's behind this one and it's difficult to get to. You're actually going to have to pull this forward And then these are really embedded. I've actually pulled them out just so I can make them easier. And even then, there's still a bit of a struggle. So don't like this part of the kit. You see, even though this has been, it's not as deep, it's not fully seated, it's still difficult to pull out. So that's our Phillips tube. Then we have a square tube. We have another square tube. No, it's a square 25, it's a Torx 25, I'm sorry. And these are the ones that I just gently put in here, but when they fully seat, they're very difficult to pull out. And then you have a Phillips number 2 that could be placed down here, but they put it on this adapter. It's magnetic, and when it drops in there, I actually needed a pair of pliers to pull it out because the magnet's strong and it's just a very tight fit. So that may be problematic. We go on to a Phillips, and then we have a Phillips 2 and another Phillips 2 there. So those, oh, by the way, these are all magnetic tools, right? Magnetic bits. So that covers that whole section. Now we're finally left with the socket adapter, 1/4 inch, another Torx 25, and then we have these 3 magnetic drivers, 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, and then another Torx 25 there. So that is indeed the entire collection. The box and the double-sided don't count as extras, so you actually have the correct tool count, which is really nice. In order to use any of the short bits, you simply lift up, and then put it back in, drop it into the slot, then push it back down. And these all have to be lifted up individually. For the back row on the right-hand side, it lifts up to a vertical position, so it makes getting these out a little bit easier because you'll be able to use 2 hands to get those down. These front rows just lift up. These are the easiest to get in and out. Same with this. Of course, to get to the tools in the back, this one does not lift forward like this one does. So this gets to be a little clumsy because you're wishing that this whole thing would lift forward, and it doesn't. So that makes it more difficult to work with. Not my ideal storage system. And again, with the shorts, you just tilt it up, pull it out straight, and drop it back in. So those will stay nicely organized. Getting to anything long on the left-hand side is going to be a pain. Somewhat of a pain, more of a pain just to actually physically get them out, as when they're fully seated, they're very tight. When done with your bits, you simply close the case, latch it, and you should be able to shake it, perhaps even drop it. Oops, I am so clumsy. And then we come back here, open it up, and everything is still in its place. These 1-inch bits are designed to work with the magnetic holder. You simply drop it in. Now you can take your impact tool and it's ready to do work. When you're done, you release, and then all you need to do is pull this off. But the problem I'm having with this is not only is it magnetically held in, it's also clipped in. Now I'll show you with this magnetic holder from another brand. We have our Milwaukee bit. We drop it in and it holds the bit, but it allows you to easily remove it. That's not the case with this. Watch. Having done this before, I know that I need at least 2 Lyman pliers. And remember, this is just the same Phillips bit that was in the other magnetic holder. So you need a lot of force to get this bit to release from this magnetic holder. And that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't need a tool to get this out. Yep, didn't work that time. Anyway, this for me is a big fail with this. And it's sad because you need this magnetic holder whenever you're working with the 1-inch bits. So you may be better off getting somebody else's magnetic holder so that you won't need tools to remove the bit. The failure to release from the magnetic bit can result in some cosmetic damage to the bit itself. The socket adapter has a bearing on it. Goes right in. You can snap any 1/4-inch socket into it. It locks in, won't release until you pull it off. I can even put on this 1/4-inch extension. It does a really good job. Looking at the 3 nut drivers, the one precaution I have for you is because the magnets that are in them are fairly powerful, you could go like that and just assume that that's the correct driver for this. When it's not, it's actually this one. When mounted, again, it fits right onto your tool, and the magnet does not let go, but yet you can pull it off. So decent amount of magnetic hold for your fasteners. What do I think of the Milwaukee driver bit set? Well, I like the case. It helps keeps everything organized. You can lock it. It has a piano hinge, which means it's going to last a long time and not come apart on you. Bit-wise, you get a lot of duplicates in here, which is great for the commonly used ones that you're going to wear out or break. So instead of having to run off to the store, you just pull the next one and you're ready to go. The socket adapter adds a lot of versatility, as do the 3 magnetic nut drivers. What I don't like is the fact that anything on this back tier is hard to get out because the front tier blocks it. And while removing these bits is very easy, getting to these without moving these out of the way is a pain. Over on the right-hand side, they solve that by allowing you to bring the whole unit forward. So now if you want to pull something, you just pull it. It's going to be a 2-hand operation because most of these, when fully seated, are hard to pull out. But the front tier is easy. It just lifts right out. The only problem I have is with the magnetic bit holder, which because it's both magnetic and has a spring clip in it, once you drop the bit in there, it doesn't want to release it, so you're going to have to pry it out. I would suggest just substituting somebody else's magnetic bit holder, and you won't miss the Milwaukee one, and you'll have a lot less frustration with this tool. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team. And as always, thank you ever so much for watching.